people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman. I love what she's doing. She's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
At the Constitution Day dinner, I was a host speaker there along with Brian Sussman, the Brian Sussman Show. You had your MC, Dave Diamond from the Afternoons Live with Dave Diamond. And I'm telling you, it was a smash-up event. We loved it. You can check out some of the videos. I have got my speech up now on Conservative New Media on our YouTube channel. Just type that in. You can see it also on my Facebook and on the John D. Villarreal Show. It's really hot. You got to check that out. We're going to put Dave's stuff up there later and Brian Sussman's up there later as well. But I just say that because I want to thank those people. We love the Constitution, and that's important for everybody to go check out and see. But this show today is so hot. You're going to want to record it. We're going to have the podcast, everything like that. Let's get right into it. We're going to talk about Christine O'Donnell, her big win, our help there, and what it means for the future of the party going forward. We're going to talk about Sarah Palin. We're going to talk about election 2012. We're going to talk about explosive things with these this insider stuff. We're going to get right into that. Someone from the Obama administration, formerly of the Obama administration, is coming out and saying all the things that we've been saying for years, and now the blank is hitting the fan, and this thing is going to really, really blow up. You're going to want to talk about that. And I want to talk about this new fight now between Rush Limbaugh and Mike Murphy and Karl Rove and the rest of them. And what about Karl Rove's meltdown? How'd you feel about that? But without any further ado, because this show is so jam-packed, we've got so many great guests here. Let's go right now to my friend and Hollywood super producer, Bettina Viviano. And Bettina's got a new film out there called We Will Not Be Silenced 2008.com. That is the site. The show is called, the documentary is called We Will Not Be Silenced, and was talking about some of these voter things that were going on in the 2008 election. And now I know, Bettina, you have been very fired up about this White House Insider article. Why don't you tee us up a little bit about that?
Oh, you mean the guy that they didn't identify who said, he sits around and does nothing all day and wants to talk about sports? That one?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what? Let me tell you something. There are people in our film who are from the African-American women, are from Trinity Church and from Chicago and Obama's district, and one of them used to have
That's Reverend Wright's church.
To him.
That's Reverend Wright's church.
Yes, Reverend Wright's church. And the women in our film and that we got to know in Chicago who knew him, one who shared an office with him when he was a state senator, said the same thing. He did nothing all day. He liked getting the job but didn't do anything. And then, she doesn't believe that he wants the job or is enjoying himself. And we knew that would happen. Look, you and I know from 2.5 years ago, we were telling everybody, don't elect this guy.
That's right.
A mistake.
That's right.
We sat there, and I cried more than I've ever cried in my entire life. I knew every single thing that has happened to this country. It's been destroyed. In 2 short years, this guy has done this damage. And no, George Bush didn't do it. And you and I told everybody, and here we are where we have friends who are saying, well, I guess you were right. Yeah, we were right. Apologize. You made a mistake.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, seriously.
Don't do it again. Listen to us next time.
Right. And
Do you know who this insider guy is? Because I read 2 parts of it.
We read 3 parts of it. I've got some ideas. I don't want to air that out right now. We can talk about that offline. But, I mean, you've been in this fight for a long time. We've been in the fight. You know that. And it's so funny now. What do you make? There's so much to talk about here, and I love having you on, and we're going to have you on a lot. I mean, Bettina's my good friend, and I'm telling you, this woman is down there in the belly of the beast in Hollywood fighting this. And like you said, Obama's, and we've all worked with these people and gone to school with these people. He's one of those people, the easiest way to say it, he loves the credit and doesn't want to do any of the work.
Well, I also think he's been nothing but a puppet for these, venal people like George Soros. He just sort of shows up, reads off the teleprompter, and does what they tell him to do. Unfortunately, all these sad, pathetic people in this country who thought he had some amazing vision and was going to turn this country around, he was never going to do that. I mean, we're fools to the entire world. This guy threw himself $100 million toga party when he got the nomination, a $500 million inaugural ball. This was supposed to change the entire world, and all he's done is make us look like idiots.
No doubt about it. And here's the thing, like a lot of times, like the new meme that was going out a couple weeks ago on Morning Joe and some of these other places, oh, you know, Obama, he's so great and he's done so much. But it's just that he doesn't understand how to do the politics. He doesn't understand how to sell it. And I'm thinking to myself, just what you said, my gosh, this guy has done theater and stagecraft at a presidential level that nobody has imagined before. I mean, untold millions of dollars, the big toga party, the big Roman Coliseum type, you know, event out there in Denver. I mean, give me a break. People just don't like what he is doing. They know that it doesn't work. He's wrecking this country. But let's flip to this thing that happened here in Delaware, because I know you've got so much to talk about that. Christine O'Donnell and the win for the people versus the insiders. What's your take on that, and what happened with Karl Rove and the vicious attacks that they've been trying to do to Christine O'Donnell?
Well, Karl Rove shouldn't have done it, because the bottom line is, no matter what happens, when the people, you know, Ronald Reagan said it, vet your candidates during the primary and vote Republican, which is, you know, the only thing anybody with a brain or anybody with any mental sanity or love of America will vote straight ticket up and down Republican in November.
Oh, yeah.
There's no choice.
You have to.
I don't care if you're a so-called progressive, which I find repugnant, but you still have to do it because these people are destroying the country. So for a very prominent Republican who I had a lot of respect for, to divide the party this way and be so horrible. Now, on one side of it, we probably did just lose Delaware. But, you know, the argument is, well, what is the losing about? Because, as Jim DeMint said, it's not worth winning anymore with the Mike Castles. You know, this whole party needs to get rid of, you know, which I think Olympia Snowe will go because she's bitching about Mike Castle, and she's a Democrat anyway.
Right.
Collins is a Democrat. You know, McCain's a Democrat. You know, we want these people out of our party. So if we have to get them out in primaries, then, you know, we've got 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018. We're not going anywhere. We're going to get rid of them one by one by one. Every single one of them are going to go. If they don't think they're going to go, they should take another look at this past year. And, you know, whether we win or not, we got rid of a rhino.
Right, and I want people to understand out there, I mean, you're someone with a lot of courage who's speaking her mind. You're someone who has worked with Steven Spielberg, who's done movies with Adam Sandler, who's put out things that people have seen out there. And, you know, people need, and in Hollywood, to have your courage. And if you are ever on, you know, Bettina's Facebook, and I mean, this woman puts out things like, you know, like unbelievable amounts of volume and depth and everything like that. So, you know, you really got to check it out. But the thing I want to talk about very quickly, and we have to go now. We can't wait to have you back, and people have to check out your film. We will not be silenced. But, I mean, you know, if you can very, very quickly talk about your experience that happened with some of these insiders here in California that try to basically get you out of a race when you were thinking about running. I mean, people have to get rid of these insiders because they're not letting us people speak. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but, I mean, we know about this.
So, you know, that people came to me and asked me to run for something, and part of the reason I couldn't do it was that I was in the middle of producing too many movies. But, you know, the old boy network in the California Republican Party they were discouraging. They had their person that they wanted to run, and he's fine. I mean, he's a totally fine guy. It's just our party in California is not good. It's ineffective, and it doesn't do anything. And you know, I care very much about some of the people in the party, but, you know, we need to take the whole state back. We have 12.4% unemployment now. Thank you, Barack. Mm-hmm. And I know, you know, driving around seeing the for lease signs and the empty office buildings, this is a very depressed state. And it wasn't that way when I moved here.
No, not at all.
Our party needs to completely revamp itself and get some new energy and new people, just like what the Tea Party's doing across the country for our party.
Well, I love what you're doing. We're going to talk next week. We have a lot to talk about. I love you, Bettina. We will
Love you
not be
too.
silenced. 2008.com is the site. Bettina Viviano is the producer. You got to plug in with this woman, Bettina. We're going to talk to you very soon. Thank you very much. On the next half of this break, when we come back, we're going to take a short break here. Stay with us because we've got Noel Shepard from Newsbusters who's going to join us and get right into this. And we're going to start talking about this insider article and break some quotes and break some news right here. My name is John D. Villarreal, and you're listening to the John D. Villarreal Show on the Conservative New Media Radio Network.